And we have returned. You're listening to CSE Talk Radio. I really hate to keep talking about this same topic all the time because that's what everybody else is doing. And my, late boss told me, try to do something that everybody else isn't talking about. But I'm going to tell you what, this is urgent. I mentioned this yesterday. November is urgent. Now, I have lots of friends who are Democrats. And I think we all, including Republicans, we take politics as just, it's just politics. But it's not that anymore. When you have a party that's claiming socialism, you're in trouble. They're taking an oath to the Constitution of the United States, and yet they're legislating socialistic laws and ideas and bureaucratic ideas, and it's infiltrated into the bureaucracy of this nation. On the other hand, we're going to look at these Republicans, and we call them rhinos. They're globalists. Now, I saw a gentleman interviewed last night. He used to be with the National Football League, and he has written a book, and I want to get a hold of him. He has written a book about this nation and what's happening to it. So when he was talking about the National Football League, when he was talking about football and the sports arena, he said, well, they're just like everyone else. They don't want to concentrate on nationalism. They want to concentrate on globalism. That's part of the socialist group as well, and the rhinos. And it's all about money. It's always about money. And socialism always works until you run out of somebody else's money. And the hatred towards this Judge Kavanaugh, is unfounded. He is not, I am 102% sure he is not guilty of all these accusations. Now, last night, they were accusing him. Somebody had seen him get drunk when he was in college, and he threw an ice cube at somebody. Really, this is what we've become. Now, if these allegations of sexual assault were true, I would say get rid of him in a heartbeat. But I don't think they're true. And I think they have literally crucified a man who's innocent for their agendas, for their socialistic, globalistic agenda and power and money. And I was reading things today, and I have one here. Most of you, many of you, I know I have a lot of veterans that listen to the show. A lot of Korean veterans and a lot of Vietnam War veterans. My brother was in here yesterday, and this all upsets him. He's a Marine in Vietnam. Well, Jane Fonda, also known as Hanoi Jane, she says if President Donald Trump fires Mueller, that the people in the United States should get in the streets and shut the country down. Now, why would we listen to Hanoi Jane? This Mueller investigation has already been exposed for what it is. It's, for lack of a better word, trumped up allegations. These people have gone on and on and on. You cannot like his politics. You cannot like the man personally. That's okay. But do you love your country? Do you like liberty, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, property, prosperity? Do you want to be able to make a living the way you want to make a living? Maybe you're saying, Beth, come on, we're all doing that now. Are you? I think I shared with you this several years ago, and I was going to actually open with it. But this was it made an impression on me as a young girl. And it's the book, and it's also been made into a movie and remade into a movie, The Man Without a Country. Now, when I was in junior high, they marched us all down. You know how you walk single file in the hallway all down to the library. By the way, if any of my classmates are listening, that was at Pittman Junior High. They walked us down to the library and they said, "We have a movie for you to watch." Well, yeah, I can get out of class. We were all for that. But this movie made an impression on me as a young girl. The Man Without a Country is by Edward Everett Hale. It's a fictitious novel, and it made an impression on me. The movie has since been redone, and if you don't know the story, check it out. Check out the novel or go find the movie somewhere. When I was searching for a copy of the book, back when I wrote this article back in July of 2000, when I was working for Derry Brownfield, and I had a little article in his newspaper called The Chronicle that was called Thoughts from Beth's Desk. When I was searching for a copy of the book to refresh my memory of the story, I went to an internet site. There was a person's review of the book describing it as another example of cruelty and injustice in the United States. Knowing that the story was only fiction, I pretty much don't share the gentleman's opinion. It is fiction. Nothing like this has ever really happened. But today I'm wondering if it should happen. I perceive the story to be an extreme example depicting how important our homeland should be to us, and that we should always choose our words carefully. And also, I'm going to reiterate right here, and it tells later in this article and in the book, how important God is to this nation and to the individual persons. The story takes place in the young United States, still struggling and still growing. I'm thinking maybe we still are. An older officer persuades the younger Philip Nolan to join him in a treasonous plot or militia against the United States. Details of the act are not a main focus of the novel, but as Nolan was tried to give a distance to speak, but as Nolan has tried and given chance to speak and defend his faithfulness to his country in anger, he cursed the United States. So when he went on trial, they gave him an opportunity to speak for the country, and instead he cursed it. And he stated that he wished he would never hear of the United States again. Consequently, the court granted him his wish and condemned him to a life at sea, a life without a country, a man without a country. It was decreed that no one should ever mention any news from home in his presence. Newspapers and mail were censored, and articles, I guess they scratched them out. Is that what they call them, redacted? They scratched them out. Nothing of the United States, or they were cut out, and he was forbidden to see anything. He would never again step foot on the land. No maps, no news. He was never again to see, hear, or read of the United States of America. The story continues to describe a personal consequences of Philip Nolan's penalty. He eventually regretted his words. Remember that, regretted. He regretted his words and longed to hear of home. He grew to love his country more than any other person could love a country. Although his story is fiction, it gives us today reason to wonder, just what does the United States of America mean to each one of us? We are spoiled people, enjoying the fruits and the sacrifices made of our founding fathers. Well, we'll stop there because I hear the music. We're going into a break. So, what does the United States of America mean to you today? There's a lot of screaming, a lot of cursing, a lot of things being said and done. But when it comes down to you one-on-one, personally, what does this nation mean to you? It is not without fault. But what does your country and your God mean to you? 877-895-5410 is the number to call. That's 877-895-5410. Go get your cup of coffee, and we'll be right back.